Well, it's about that time again. Valve, the mysterious gaming company that brought us the currently on hold Half-Life series, the legendary Steam platform, and to many of their fans, a crippling obsession and desire to obtain their virtual items that currently shouldn't have any real-world value, but for some reason can be worth literal millions. And every now and then, a very neglected and starved but immensely dedicated community that keeps this game on life support are awarded a few updates every year, which in realness is just an opportunity to open their wallets and sacrifice their financial well-being to the Dark Lord himself. Not long ago, this company announced that an all-new update would be coming to TF2 this summer of 2023, and between now and then, the community had been in utter, overhyped speculation of what could possibly be added in the update, trying their best to dig into any and all information for clues to what could possibly be coming our way. And now that summer update is quite literally around the corner, which the 21st of June marks the first day of summer for the Yanks, or for us Aussies, the first day of winter. That being said, as you can see the title of the video, I'm going to share my wish list for this coming update. In the video, I'll go over cosmetics, war paints, and of course unusual effects. Now this update is particularly special as not only are we getting cosmetics like we usually do, but also war paints, which creates a very unique opportunity for non-seasonal or non-festive themed war paints to be added to the game, which hasn't happened since I think 2017. And there are so many incredibly made war paints that aren't heavily themed around Smithmas or Scream Fortress on the workshop, that have been neglected and overlooked for 6 or so years. And now they have a chance at being added to the game, finally. Now throughout the vid, I will not only showcase the items and effects, but I will also credit the talented community creators who made these items, both in the video and linked and timestamped in the video's description. So please, if you like any of these items, give those workshop creators some support and vote on their TF2 workshop submissions. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we have all the cosmetics in no particular order. Leading the charge is the cosmetic set for the Scout called Enforcer's Ensemble, which was made by these workshop creators. Now, this set is nicely stylized to give off a cool, casual, professional look to the Scout, with a casually combined hairdo and sunglasses making up the headpiece of the set, and a great looking jacket that extends down just below the waist. Now both of these items are paintable for extra personal expression, and both cosmetics come with different styles. The hair and glasses can be changed into just hair without the glasses, making the hair painted rather than the glasses themselves, and the jacket styles change whether or not the tie or the shirt underneath the jacket is painted, which can really affect how good the cosmetic looks. A great two-piece set for the Scout to start off this list. Next up is the cosmetic set for the Spy called Professionnel, which is made by these workshop creators. Now, this set is a special favourite of mine, as this is a reference to the character Leon in the movie Leon the Professional. To anyone who doesn't know what that is, Google is there and waiting to assist you. This set is also a two-piece, which is made up of a black beanie with circular rimmed shades to go with it, and a nicely stylized long coat with a black turtleneck to match the beanie. Now both cosmetics are paintable, which will change the beanie and the turtleneck to whatever paint kit colour you use on them, making some really snazzy looking combinations. Cosmetics are also seamlessly stylized for TF2 that both pieces can fit perfectly and be mixed and matched with already existing cosmetics in the game, which is a huge plus in my books. Absolutely amazing work with this, as the creators really hit the disguise kit on the head with this nicely referenced cosmetic set for the Spy. Next up is the cosmetic jacket for the Soldier called Old Glory, which was made by these workshop creators. Now, I play a lot of Soldier, hands down one of my favourite classes to play, and this cool militaristic styled Air Force leather flight jacket is just so damn cool. I have to have it on my wish list. In fact, this will be on my wish list until it's added to the game because of how much I like it. Now the jacket is paintable, making the bottom elastic fringe, the collar, and the sleeve ends the colour of whatever paint kit is applied to it. But to be honest, it doesn't need any paint because that's how cool it really is. Just amazing job to the creators for this, well done. Next up is another cosmetic set for the Spy called the Side Smuggler, which was made by these workshop creators. Now, this set is made up of a captain's hat with glasses and a full-piece suit for the spy, which are both paintable. Both cosmetics suit the stylized look of the game beautifully, and both can be implemented seamlessly within the game's collections of old and new cosmetics. Now, the other reason I like this set is that the hat and the turtleneck kind of remind me of a character from an Indiana Jones movie, The Raiders of the Lost Ark, which is Captain Simon Katanga. Now, I know he's not wearing a jacket, but the style of the white turtleneck along with the white topped captain's hat is just so similar, regardless if it's not based on that character's outfit. To me, that outfit just matches that perfectly. Either way, great job to the creators. Next up is the cosmetic hat for the demo and soldier called Sergeant Splash Damage, which was made by these workshop creators. Now this hat, just by the look of it, is most likely, in most people's opinion, just another drill sergeant's hat. But let me expand on it. Not only is it a drill sergeant's hat, it comes with gunner shades, a neat collar and tie, it's dual classed, making the symbol on the top of the hat either a rocket or sticky depending on what class you're wearing it on, and it allows you to equip 2 or more cosmetics to the rest of the body, because the shades, the collar and tie, and the hat are just one cosmetic. Also, because this cosmetic really reminds me of Super Troopers, so yeah, I really want this cosmetic. The first time seeing it, I thought, Mother of God. I need it so bad, so yeah, Valve add it right now. Meow. Next up is a cosmetic set for the engineer called Frontier Francophile, which was made by these workshop creators. Now this western themed set for the Engie either screams classic protagonist of every western movie ever, or classic antagonist of every western movie ever. It just hits so well with that classic western style that you can pretty much fit it into any character from that time and place into the cosmetic set. The set comes with 2 pieces, their hair and the facial hair for the headpiece, and their fantastically made western style coat / vest and collared shirt, and the folded neck scarf making up the body piece. It almost even has a western Tony Stark look to it, which would be just so fitting, not gonna lie. Amazing work on this set, and I hope to see it soon. And now for the last of the cosmetics is a cloak for the sniper and is called the Paynesville Poncho, which was made by these workshop creators. Now this is also another western themed cosmetic, and for a lot of western film fans, it just screams Clint Eastwood vibes, which mostly is the reason why I love it so much and want it so badly. The draped cloak is just so nicely made and suits the sniper amazingly without being a crazy eyesore or ruining the sniper's silhouette, which is very important for class recognition. I'm hoping so much, with my fingers crossed, we see this in the cosmetic case this summer update. Well done to the creators. Now with the cosmetics out of the way, let's lead into the unusual effects in no particular order. And leading the charge is the unusual effect called Fireflies, made by this workshop creator. Now this effect is on the list as it's not just another wispy, warpy, multicolored energy effect. I just feel we have too many of those effects and we need some simplicity added to the unusual table. And the Fireflies effect is just so subtle as an effect, it adds a gentle elegance with its animations, and it also has a nice trail effect that gradually dissipates when moving, which is just so damn awesome. Next up is the unusual effect called Global Clusters, which was made by these workshop creators. Now this effect comes in 2 colors, green and purple, and really applies a unique space theme that's much different to the other space themed effects already in game. The colors and animations are nicely grouped and implemented into the effect, which makes each and every sprite look like they belong. The colors aren't too loud, and this effect could be a really nice addition to the non-seasonal themed space effects in the game already. Next up is the unusual effect called Volcanic Incineration, which was made by these workshop creators. So yeah, I'm a big fan of lava and volcanoes in general, so the effect is a fitting effect to add for a summer update, not only for the reasons that, you know, it's a hot effect, haha, but it's a great effect to add to the game as a general effect that doesn't need to tie itself to any specific season. Volcanoes erupt all year round, they don't give a fuck. And yeah, this effect is a tad bit out there in terms of animations. The theme of the effect holds true to its form. It's a volcanic eruption, and I really want it. Next up is the unusual effect called Stargate, which was made by these workshop creators. Now yes, it's another space effect. which I've got a few on the list and is great as the summer update isn't heavily themed around a specific time of festivities, which is a great opportunity to add some space effects as I really don't want to have to waste money opening confidential and quarantine cases in a hopeless bid to get lucky enough to open up a nebula effect on those hats specific to those two cases. But this is such an awesome creation of a black hole and is very reminiscent of the black hole from Interstellar. It's a great looking space effect with small and subtle moving parts around it. Awesome work to the talented creators of this effect. Next up is the unusual effect called Smoldering Savings, which was made by these workshop creators. Now this is a great effect as it internally symbolizes your financial savings going up in flames in a bid to obtain this unusual effect itself. It's just so symbolic and it's just funny. I mean, as the Joker himself said,
everything burns.
Awesome effect, and I'm surprised we don't have it in game already, to be honest. Next up is the unusual effect called Andromeda Starfall, which was made by these workshop creators. Yes, another space effect, but in my defense, I did warn you a couple of effects ago that I have a few on the list. So yes, this is on my list because space. I'm a big fan of space. More space is good space, but this space effect is beautifully put together. The animations are so gentle and subtle that it makes me feel so hypnotized and calm just peering into the effect as a whole. I could get lost just staring into it. Fantastic job to the creators. Space. And last but not least is actually an unusual weapon / war paint effect called Voltage, which was made by this workshop creator. Now, I am of the belief that either Valve add back Energy Orb fixed, or they add more well-made effects for war paints, or both. And Voltage is an amazingly well-made war paint effect. The animations don't extend past the weapon, which in turn doesn't decrease visibility for the player, which is very important. Now I've linked this creator in the description and he showcases this effect on every weapon you can add a war paint to. So if you like certain weapons that I don't showcase right now, go check his workshop page out. Having this effect would be just so refreshing that with a new summer war paint case being added finally, a lot of those cases and older cases would be opened in pursuit of this effect. It's just a win-win for Valve, which both lead into them making more money for practically no effort whatsoever. Now, let's finish this wishlist off with my personal favorites, war paints, in no particular order. Now, leading this final charge here is the war paint called Gambler's Royalty, which was made by this workshop creator. This war paint is probably one of, if not the pinnacle of customly made war paints on my list, as Monkey, the creator, actually went into the textures to fiddle with the placement of the textures onto each weapon, giving each, yes and I mean each weapon, an absolutely beautifully made series of textures that are customly arranged that bring true elegance to the weapons that we shoot and beat each other to death with. In game. This is probably up there with top shelf for me, and I can't say this enough, that above all war paints, I want this added to the game the most, over even my own war paints that I've made. I need this war paint. Next up is the war paint called Hotrod, which was made by this workshop creator. And yeah, this war paint is just so damn cool. I mean hot, but I love how it uses the albedo tint to apply a metallic sheen to the metal areas of the texture. I love the choice of leather and rubber treads to resemble tires and the interior leather of a hot rod. It's just a really well put together paint. Now, this isn't your generic war paint, as this uses the Dragon Slayer war paint as the basis, so not all generic war paint weapons are available. But each texture is customly created, oriented, and placed on the UV map of each weapon, which is why each weapon looks so damn good. Please Valve, we need more of these Dragon Slayer inspired war paints that use this custom UV mapping. Next up is the war paint called High Stakes, which was made by this workshop creator. Now, this war paint has been around for a while now and has been in my top 5 war paints that I want in-game. The textures are just so beautifully made and implemented. The creator has done a fantastic job in making a poker card themed war paint. It's elegant and it fits the game seamlessly and it's top quality, just well done. Next up on the list is the war paint called Well Aged, which was made by this workshop creator. Now Pamp has made so many amazing war paints, it hurts to see none of them are in game as of yet. But hopefully that changes this summer update, as all of his war paints are so high quality and so much thought has gone into each of them in their creation, and his well-aged war paint is no exception to that. Such beautifully made textures that match the game's art style immaculately. If there was ever a war paint that would suit Spy's weapons, it'll probably be this one, because its elegance and sense of class is deadly. Next up is the war paint called Valhallan, which was made by these workshop creators. This Viking style war paint is one of my favorites on the workshop and has been for so long. I've hoped for it to be added for ages now, as the textures created are so damn cool. The runes, the chainmail, and the metal and the fur are so nicely put together. And what I like about the fur is that it's not realistic. It's cartoonish enough to fit into TF2's art style, but I've got my fingers crossed and I hope it's added. Up next is the war paint called Stallion, which was made by this workshop creator. Now, I know I'm not alone when I say this game needs more militaristic styled war paints. We mostly get concoctions of textures that I wouldn't even imagine putting on a weapon. I love everything about this paint. The metal, the colors, the bolts and seams resembling metal plating, the yellow checkers, it just screams Air Force. Freaking awesome, gimme it now, I need it. Next up is the war paint called Warborn, which was made by this workshop creator. Yeah, that's right, 2 military themed war paints in a row, and this one is freaking amazing like the last. The wood is almost a lovely polished dark mahogany and separates the other textures on the weapons beautifully. The camoed metal plating is well made and the scaling is perfect. The sticker is also basic and looks like it actually belongs and is also perfectly scaled. And yes, it's also team colored, so the war paint just adds just that little bit more variation as well. I can't wait to hopefully see this in game soon. Last but not least on the main war paint list is called Royal Renegade, which was made by this workshop creator. If I was to want an engraving war paint, it would be this one. I mean, do I need to say more? The metal engraving texture is made to absolute perfection that I won't want Damascus and mahogany anymore. There's a new war paint in town. The additional textures of the ivory and charcoal dark grey are perfect textures that support the main texture so well. I want to own every weapon with this war paint on it. Well done to the creator on this masterpiece. Now that is all my main war paints on my list, but I also want to give some honourable mentions that aren't on my main list. Here we go. And there we have it, my TF2 Summer 2023 update wishlist. I certainly hope you enjoyed watching and or listening, and to those of you who watched or listened all the way through, I appreciate you so much. I know I haven't been very active in the past 7 months or so, but I am trying to pick up the pace now with new content, especially now that I have better internet. Now, if you'd like to support me a little further, you can follow me on Twitch, as I have started streaming there. I'm on my way to affiliate and looking forward to streaming there every day. And if Twitch goes under, I always have YouTube and even Kick. But I am playing TF2, CSGO and eventually CS2, and a myriad of other games on Twitch when I stream. So come give the stream a follow and maybe recommend me some games that you guys play that you'd like to see me play in the future on stream. My Twitch will be linked in the video description below. Again, a big thank you to all of you, and see you in the next video that I'll be doing once the update is released. And to all you followers on Twitch, see you guys on the stream.